It was nearly sunset when Alex drove into the town of Duskfield. His GPS had glitched miles back, but he was sure this wasn't on his map. The wooden sign at the entrance read, "Welcome to Duskfield, where shadows rest." Beneath it, someone had scrawled in red paint, "If they let you." Alex, a freelance journalist, had been following reports of mass disappearances in a nearby county. No one had mentioned Duskfield, but something about the air here felt heavy. The streets were lined with crooked lamp posts, dimly glowing even though the sun hadn't fully set. The houses all looked abandoned, yet every window seemed to have eyes behind it. He parked in front of the only building with lights, a diner called the Hollow Plate. Inside, the air smelled of dust and old grease. A woman in a faded waitress uniform stood behind the counter, unmoving, until he walked in. Then, as if triggered, she smiled unnaturally wide. "Welcome to Duskfield, honey. You're just in time for dinner," she said, voice hollow. Alex glanced around. The booths were empty. The jukebox played a slow, off-key tune, and the menu was all handwritten in shaky script. He ordered coffee. "Passing through?" she asked. "Maybe," he replied. "Doesn't seem like many people live here." The waitress's eyes twitched slightly. "They're here, just not out in the open after dark." 2. Something's not right. After leaving the diner, Alex decided to stay the night. The only available lodging was the Sleepy Hollow Inn, a Victorian house-turned hotel run by an old man named Mr. Greaves. His skin was grayish, his fingers bony and trembling, but he was polite. "I don't usually get visitors," Greaves said. "Don't wander after midnight?" Alex laughed it off. "Why not?" "Ghosts." Greaves didn't smile. "Worse." His room was cold, the wallpaper peeled in strips, and there was a mirror in the corner covered by a white sheet. When he tried to lift the sheet, a chill shot through his hand. So he left it alone. At exactly midnight, Alex woke up to a sound, not a knock, not a whisper, but scratching, like fingernails dragging along wood. It came from the hallway. Grabbing his flashlight, he crept to the door and peeked out. Down the hall, shadows were moving unnaturally. They slid along the walls as if detached from any figure. One stopped near his door and whispered his name. "Alex." He slammed the door shut and locked it, heart racing. By morning, the hallway was clean, empty, as if nothing had happened. 3. The library. Determined to find answers, Alex visited Duskfield's old library the next day. It was massive, far too large for a town so empty. The librarian was a young girl named Alara. She spoke quietly, like someone afraid of being overheard. "You shouldn't be here," she said. "They're awake now. They know your name." Alex blinked. "Who's they?" She slid him a file from beneath the counter. It was labeled "The Duskfield Curse." Inside were yellowed pages, newspaper clippings, and police reports dating back to 1891. The pattern was clear. Every 10 years, outsiders would arrive. Then they'd vanish. Locals would forget. It was like the town rewound time, memory erased, stories buried. "It's not the town," Ilara whispered. "It's what lives beneath it. The town feeds it, and it keeps the town existing outside time." That night, Alex planned to leave, but when he drove toward the highway, the road looped back into town. Again and again, no matter which direction he took, the sign reappeared, "Welcome to Duskfield, where shadows rest." Now the red scrawl below had changed. "You belong here now." 4. The ritual panicked, Alex returned to Alara. She revealed more of the truth. The entity beneath Duskfield was called the Sleeper, a shadow god fed by fear, trapped centuries ago by a pagan cult. but the seal had grown weak. Every decade the town offered new souls, outsiders like Alex, to keep it from rising. "The scratching?" he asked. "The sleeper's children," she replied. "They prepare the sacrifice." That night Alex heard them again, but now they were inside the inn. One stood in the mirror, pulling at the cloth, revealing its featureless, smoke-like face. "You can't run," it hissed. 5. Into the abyss, Elara and Alex planned to destroy the source. The temple ruins deep in the forest beyond town, where the original seal was placed. It was risky. But if they didn't act, Alex would vanish like the others. And Elara, the last rebel, would be next. They left before sunset. The forest was dead silent. No birds, no wind, just the sound of crunching leaves beneath their feet. At the center, they found a stone altar covered in fresh blood. The seal was cracked. Shadows danced around it, why to be continued.